All right, let's get right into it. In cybersecurity, it feels like a constant arms race, right? Attackers versus defenders. But what if the defenders all had access to the same shared blueprint, a way to see what's coming and prepare for it together? Well, today we're looking at a tool designed to do just that. It's called the Malware Information Sharing Platform, or MISP for short.
So before we can really appreciate what MISP does, we've got to understand the problem it was built to solve. And it's a big one that's been holding cyber defense back for years, the intelligence silo.
You see, cyber attacks, they're almost never just a one-and-done kind of thing. The attackers who hit one company, they're going to take the same tools, the same tricks, and the same infrastructure and go after someone else. They work like a network, sharing what works and getting better all the time.
But for the longest time, the defenders, well, we haven't. Each organization has been like its own little island, fighting these huge battles all alone. So when one company gets hit, they learn a ton, but that critical knowledge just stays locked away inside their walls. And that gives the attackers a massive advantage. They only need to get lucky once, while every single defender has to be perfect every single time, all by themselves.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? How do we tear down those silo walls and start fighting back as a team? Well, that is exactly where MISP comes into the picture. It's a whole new way of thinking, built completely around the power of sharing. At its heart, MISP is an open-source threat intelligence platform. Just think of it like a secure, shared library where trusted partners can pool their knowledge on cyber threats. They can share info, store it, and this is the really important part, correlate it. It's all about turning what one person knows into a superpower for the whole group. The main goal here is sharing what we call indicators of compromise, or IOCs. That's just a fancy name for the digital fingerprints and breadcrumbs that attackers leave behind. And when you share those clues, the game totally changes. What was a detection for one company becomes prevention for everyone else. It's about getting ahead of the attack, not just cleaning up after it. And check out the kind of intel MISP can handle. We're not just talking about a few bad IP addresses or domains. No, it handles the whole shebang. Everything from file hashes and malicious URLs to actual malware samples, and even TTPs, which are the tactics, techniques, and procedures. That's basically the attacker's entire playbook.
Okay, so MISP is gathering all this amazing data, but let's be honest, a giant pile of data isn't very useful by itself. The real magic of MISP is how it organizes everything to turn that raw data into something you can actually use.
The whole system is built on two simple ideas: events and attributes. Think of an event as a case file for a specific incident, like a new phishing campaign. And inside that case file are all the attributes. Every little piece of evidence, like the bad IP address, the weird file hash, or the suspicious domain.
And this is where it gets incredibly powerful. MISP has this brilliant correlation engine running 24/7 in the background, automatically connecting the dots. It'll see an attribute in one event and then scan everything else to find connections. It reveals these hidden relationships between different campaigns that would take a human analyst weeks, maybe even months, to uncover.
And this is how that data becomes real intelligence. MISP adds these powerful layers of context. First, it enriches the raw data with extra info. Then it uses standard labels, or taxonomies, so that everyone is speaking the same language. And finally, it uses something called galaxies to cluster all that information by who the threat actor is, what malware family is being used, turning one single indicator into a rich, detailed picture of the threat.
Now, having all this amazing intelligence is one thing, but what good is it if it just sits in a database? MISP is designed to put that intelligence to work, right now through secure sharing and some seriously powerful automation.
You know, when you're sharing this kind of sensitive information, trust is everything, and MISP is built for that. It's designed for trusted communities, like ISACs. You get these incredibly detailed access controls, so you decide exactly who sees what. Plus, there's a feature called sightings, where organizations can report back and say, hey, we saw this too, which helps everyone feel more confident in the data.
And here's where it becomes a real force multiplier. MISP doesn't live on an island either. It's built to connect to everything else in your security stack. Your SIEM, your SOAR, your IDS, all of it. So what does this mean? It means your defenses get updated automatically, in real time with the latest threat intel. Threats can be blocked before a human analyst even has their morning coffee. So what you're looking at is a totally new way of doing cybersecurity defense. Let's talk about what this actually looks like out in the wild.
Well, you've got security operations centers using it to spot threats they never would have seen before. You have incident response teams solving cases in hours instead of weeks because another company already did the hard work and shared the playbook. And on a global scale, it's the backbone connecting governments and national certs all around the world, creating a planet-wide defense network.
What's so crucial to remember is that because MISP is open source, it's not some static piece of software. It is a living, breathing project. It is constantly evolving and getting better, thanks to contributions from a global community of experts who all want to make our defenses stronger.
So it really creates this stark contrast, doesn't it? On one hand, you have closed, proprietary platforms that can feel like a black box. They lock you in, and you're at the mercy of a vendor. And on the other hand, you have MISP. It's completely open, totally transparent, and driven by the very community that relies on it. You are in control.
And all that amazing context and correlation we talked about, it has another huge side benefit. It helps solve the nightmare of alert fatigue. By cutting through the noise and weeding out the false positives, MISP delivers high-confidence intelligence that security teams can actually trust and act on immediately.
So, if we boil this all down, what are the key takeaways? Well, the first one, and maybe the most important, is collaboration. Finally breaking down those walls and creating a truly unified defense.
The second key benefit is context. It's about turning a confusing mess of data points into a clear picture, a story that tells you not just what is happening, but why it matters to you.
And the third, of course, is automation. It's what puts all that great intelligence to work for you instantly, hardening your defenses in real time and freeing up your people to focus on the next threat coming over the horizon.
It all really comes down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. The threats we face are networked, they're collaborative. Our defense has to be too. With a platform like MISP, defenders are, without question, stronger together.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In a world of increasingly sophisticated and coordinated cyber attacks, is this kind of radical collaboration no longer just a nice advantage, but maybe our single greatest weapon? Something to chew on.